All right, so we're trying to find the LCM
Yeah.
here. So you have to make a factor ladder for each
Yeah.
of these numbers. So I'll let you do that. I think you know how to do that by now.
Yeah.
I'll ask you for your factor ladder in a moment here. I'll put mine up and you can compare.
Okay, so I got 2 and for 4, I got 2 and 2. 6, I got 2 and 3, and 7, I just got 7.
That's
the only
correct.
one I'll go into it.
Great. Now to find the LCM, you start with the smallest number and use the two factors, 2 and 2. Then you go to the next number and you're like, well, do I have any repeats or do I need to add to the list? And you need to add a 3 because you don't have a 3. And then you go to the next number and you're like, all right, well, I need to add a 7, meaning include a 7, not necessarily
Yeah.
and then you're going to multiply these together. 2.
Yeah, 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 7. I don't know. Let's see.
So you have to come off to the side to figure that one out.
Yeah. $84.
84. You got it. Good. Okay, here is your next question. I want you to build 4 factor ladders.
Okay. $36 is 290. I know it. I'll be 32. $18, 2, and okay. So for 12, I got 2, 2, and 3.
Okay, so 2, 2, and 3.
For 8, I got, or sorry, for 16, I got 2, 2, 2, and 2.
Okay, and for 24.
2, 2, 2, and 3.
Okay, good. And for 30,
And
oh wait,
36.
you said 3 2s, right? For
Yeah.
24. Okay, for 36.
2, 2, and 9.
It's got to be prime numbers, so keep going.
Oh, right. Never mind. I forgot you got it. This is what it comes. 3, 2, 2, 3, and 3.
Yes. Okay. So you start with the smallest number and you're going to use all the numbers there. Okay.
2 times 2 times 3.
And then what do you do with this next one? Because you already have some 2s down here.
You just put in 2 of the 2s
Yeah.
instead.
Whatever you're missing or don't have, you add to it. And then you keep going here, and what you hope is, you're not really sure that you hope to not have to keep adding, but with 24, you've got 3 2s. Do you have 3 2s in your list?
Yes.
So you've already got it. Do you already have a 3 in your list?
Yes.
So you're good. And then for the last one, do you have a
You
2
just
and a
add a
2?
3,
You need to put
right?
another 3 in there. Yes. So go ahead and multiply those together.
2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 16. No, it's not 16, 24.
What's your answer?
I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, sorry. I thought I heard it, but maybe I didn't.
I almost got it. I don't know if this is right, but is it 144?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Excellent. Okay. Next question is 6/7 plus 1/3.
And
It just says to add or subtract.
okay. So common denominator. 21 would have to be the common. Would the
Common denominator is?
yeah, would it be 21?
Yes.
Okay. And then 6 times 3 is 18. And 7 times 3. Sorry, 7 times 1, 7.
Okay. What do these add up to?
So then you add them up. 21 at the bottom. And then 35?
25
25. Okay.
over.
21.
Good.
Then that would have to become 1 and 4, 21. So
Yes.
4 over 21.
You got it. Very good. Okay, let's do the next one here. You're doing great. When you see something for the second time, it should go a lot faster, especially if you're kind of comfortable with it. So
okay, so 18.
you got it. That's your common denominator.
18, and then you do 8 for the top one, and 15 for that one, and then 8 plus 15.
Good.
Okay, so 23.
23 over 18.
And that'd become 1 and 5/18.
Perfect. Okay, very good. So next question here is, let me write it, let me snip it in the way that it's written, because it'd probably be written really similar. All right, so they're asking you to subtract, take 3/4 and subtract b. They're giving you the b value.
It'd be 3/4 minus 1/3.
Perfect.
Okay, so common denominator is 12.
Okay, I agree.
12 on the top for the first one.
Okay,
And then 4 on the top of that one. And that's gonna become 16 over 12. That's
wait,
gonna be what?
wait, 16 over 12. How did you come up with 16?
Oh, I just had it wrong. Sorry. That would become 13. Right?
It'd be 9 minus 4. You're subtracting.
Oh, right. I was adding. That's another problem that I have. 4 is 5/12.
Yes, good. Let me give you one like this here to try.
Okay.
Let's say it's 5, 6 minus a, and a equals 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and try that for me, please.
Okay. One sixth.
Yes, the answer is 1/6. Perfect. All right, very good. Okay, next problem here that I see. All right, so we got triple fractions. 3/7 plus 1/14 plus 2/28.
Well, 28 is the common denominator.
There is a small shortcut here to which is to pre-reduce.
Oh, you can pre-reduce. I thought you could only then division.
No, you can actually do it here. So the nice thing about this is when you pre-reduce, it makes your fractions a little bit nicer.
Oh yeah, so it'd be true. So then it's going to be 14 instead of 28. Okay, so what do you want this? First one would be 6.
Good.
The next one would be 1.
Okay.
The next one would be 1.
Yeah.
So then you could add 7, 8 14ths.
Okay. Does this reduce?
Yes, it reduces to 4/7.
Good. Doing great. All right, number 7 here. New problem. 18 and 1/4 minus 14 and 3/8. Okay, to do this problem, you first have to decide how 1/4 compares to 3/8. Basically, you want to know whether it's smaller or bigger.
Wouldn't 1/4 would be smaller.
So it is, but let me probe here a little bit. How do you know that? How do you know that it is smaller than 3/8?
Because if you multiply them, the 14th, the 1/4 would be a little smaller than.
So if you multiply by 2, you get 2/8, and that's less than 3/8.
Yeah.
So it's not an I think or I hope or I wish. It's you've got to make sure it is. Like you cannot have any errors there. All right, now in this case, that means you break the 18 into 17 and 1, and you bring the 1/4 down. Do you remember us doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're adding here, and then the other ones you're subtracting. The signs have messed you up a little bit in the past. Just make sure that's okay. Okay, now, question?
I was just wondering if you were adding a whole number to a fraction.
Yes.
Could you change that to like the denominator? If you're trying to find the denominator was like 7 for the fraction.
Okay.
Could you change the whole number into 7/7 so it could be really easy to subtract from?
Yeah. So what I think I heard here, and let me try to do it, is I think you want us to I think you want us to look at this one as 4/4.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can do that
Okay.
because you
'Cause then
eventually have to combine the fractions. The whole numbers you combine 17 minus 14.
And then that's 4. I'm sorry, that's 3.
Okay, so it's good to kind of make sure that you indicate that you've worked on those. So that's
Yeah.
3, and then you've got 4/4 plus 1/4 minus 3/8.
Mm-hmm. So then I guess you could do the addition and then do the subtraction.
I would agree. Yes, that's correct.
Because yeah, so it would be 5/4 minus 3/8.
Yes.
Okay, so then you'd have to when you change it to 8 and 8.
Yes.
So 8 and 8, and then multiply that by 2, so 10, and then the other one would be 3, and then subtract, and that'd be 7/8.
Yes.
So 3 and 7/8.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. What questions do you have about this? Because I want you to do the next one on your own, but I want to know if you have any questions. It'll be exactly the same. You'll have to check to see that it's smaller, break apart this whole number, make it a common denominator, add the two fractions, subtract. Any questions on that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I think you can do it without issue, but let's try here. So I'm
Okay.
gonna put this one up in front of you. 5 3/10 minus 3 1/2. Same steps, just different numbers. Go ahead and see what you come up with.
And for the one whole, like, would it be subtraction? Would it be like
Let's
if I
go
was
back.
doing
Let's go back and
subtraction?
look. What did you do up here?
You would, yeah, it's addition. So you add, and then subtract. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so then I could add that. Would it be 1 8/10?
Does that reduce 8/10 before I answer you?
Oh, it would. It would reduce
And,
2.
and I'm not saying it's right, but I want you to think
Okay.
about that
4/5.
as well. Yeah. Okay. So let me take a look here and work through this with you. So it's 4 plus 10/10 plus 3/10 minus 3
Yeah.
minus 1/2. 4 minus 3 is 1.
Yes.
Okay. So then it's 10/10 plus 3/10 minus 1/2, 13/10 minus 1/2. Common
Yes.
denominator is 10. So
Yes.
like you said, it becomes becomes 8/10,
Yeah, I got that right.
which is 4/5. Very good. 1 and 4/5.
Okay, great.
Really good. Really, really good. Okay. So just when you think you've got it, you get one that's even more difficult.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So new problem here, number 9. 5 2/7 minus 2 1/14 plus 8 5/14. Or yeah,
Oh
5/14.
gosh.
So just focus on the first two. That's what we're going to do first. Now, is 2/7, how does it compare to 1/14?
I mean, I guess. Well, what do you mean? How would it compare?
So let's go back and look at the previous problem. Whenever you're subtracting fractions, you have to look at the fraction part. And if it's less, that's when you break it apart.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking, because if it's not less, let's just say it's not less, we don't have to break it apart.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm asking you here,
okay.
make a common denominator and tell me how it compares.
The 4/14 would be larger.
That's right. So this one you do not have to break apart. And that's really
okay.
important. It's 5 plus 2/7. You don't have to break it apart. Minus 2 minus 1/14. So let's just focus on that part. Okay.
Okay.
So that's 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. But then you've got to
Yeah.
combine the 2/7 minus the 1/14.
Okay, so then you do 3, 2, 7. And you already did the which is larger up there, so that you could just it can be 4/14.
That's right.
And then subtract, and that would be 3/14.
Okay. Really good.
So
Now
it's
you
three.
got to bring down the rest of the problem.
Oh, okay. So would it be 3 3/14 plus 8 5/14? Okay. Okay. So, well, 3 plus 8 is 11.
Good.
And then 3/14 plus 5/14 is 8/14.
Okay. Does that reduce?
It would become 4/7. So 11 4/7.
Yes. Really good. That was tough, right? That was a lot
Yeah.
of work to get to the right answer. Okay. And I know you probably feel like you've done really well, and you have, and then they just get just a tiny bit more difficult here. So
Yeah.
let's look at number 10.
Okay.
All right. So this one's said to solve for the indicated variable. And the variable is here.
Yeah.
What is the math operation here?
Subtraction
So you undo subtraction
with
with
addition.
addition. So you're going to add 8 and
Yeah, to
1/4.
one side and then to the other side. Yeah, because you gotta be fair in math, so you gotta do it. Yeah,
So now this becomes a problem you already know how to handle. You're adding. Adding's the best case. Adding, you add the whole numbers and add the fractions. So will you do that for us, please?
Yeah. So whole numbers is 9, and then fractions, common denominator is 12. 12, and then 3, and you add And that's going to become 7/12. 9 and 7/12.
Very, very good. Yes, you got it. All right, so now another possibility that you'll see, which we can just keep doing the ones that you were given here, is here's n. Is 6 2/3 positive or negative, and why?
6 2/3. Would it be positive?
But why? Why is it positive?
So it has a whole number?
So
And
we
there's an
don't
addition?
write it, but there's really a plus here. This plus goes with the n.
Oh,
Like
okay.
n is positive. This plus goes with this one. Okay. So how do you undo this addition? This is the one you're undoing.
With subtraction?
Subtract 6 2/3 from both sides.
Okay.
All right. So n equals 7 5/6 minus 6 2/3.
Yes.
Now, when you're subtracting,
Okay.
what do you have to do when you're subtracting? What do you have to do with these
Oh,
fractions?
you have to make them equal.
You have to
So that
compare them. Remember?
Oh, right. So
Because if they're not equal,
yeah.
or if I'm sorry, if one is less
Yeah.
than the other, you have to maybe borrow. So
Yeah. So it would be 6 and 5, 6. 4, 6. The 5/6 would be larger than the 4/6.
that's right. So you don't have to worry about that. You can just
That's good.
go 7 plus 5/6 minus 6 minus 2/3.
Okay. So these, would you subtract the 7 and the 6, and that would
Yep.
become 1, and then you would subtract the 2/3 from the 5/6, which would be 1/6. So it would be 1 and 1/6. 6.
Yes.
So n equals 1 and 1/6.
Good. Really good.
Okay.
All right. Next one here, number 12. All right. Look at the side with the variable. How do we undo this number here?
With addition?
Yes, you're going to add 2 3/10 to both sides.
Okay. So, and it's addition. So
it's 5
Over
3/5 plus 2 3/10.
okay, so then add the 5 from the 2, that is 7. And then add the 3/5, find the common denominator, that would become 10. And
Yes.
then it would become 10 6. There's a 6/10 plus 3/10.
Okay.
So 9/10.
What is your final answer?
7 and 9/10.
Very good.
Okay.
All right, really good. We're going to work on the story problem, 5-step problem, and then maybe we'll do some more calculations. But
how long's this session?
Mom, Dad said we could go until we needed to. So
okay.
we'll the hour lessons are actually 50 minutes, so we still got 13 minutes to go
Okay,
if we need it, and we'll see. All right, so 5-step problem solving process. I know you know the steps here.
Yeah.
Step 1 is
right, well, you need to find, then you draw a model, then yeah. Okay.
So you wrote how many days? I'd rather see it as a sentence, like the number of days he will do all threat.
Okay.
But like more of just like a sentence rather than a question. Like it's the number of days that are needed to do all 3 activities on the same day.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I remember this one I had a little bit of trouble on. So yeah, that's gonna be great to do. Okay.
All right, now for number 2, I actually really like what you did here. Like, this is the way that we visualize activities. Maybe you saw
It's
like
just
that
yeah.
with
I
your
mean, it's kind of
parents.
hard to do with the doing the entire model,
Right,
but yeah.
right. So but what maybe they were looking for is sort of like a picture, like, okay, it's 8, 16, 4, 8, 28, 12, and so on. Like
Okay.
this isn't really a picture, but it's like some sort of like a jump.
Yeah. Mine I just did sort of like a calendar. So yeah. Oop,
So I like the calendar, maybe both, something like that. But
Okay.
I do like what you did there. And a lot of the apps out there that, like, if you've ever downloaded one or your parents have downloaded one where it's they kind of give you a plan, they're doing this. They're saying, okay, if it's every 3rd day, every 4th day, they intersect
Yeah.
at some point. All right. The next thing here is to do an equation and solve. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we actually know it's a factor ladder because we did,
Yeah.
like, this is exactly like question 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to build a factor ladder for these 3 numbers.
Okay, so first one is 2, 2, 2. The next one is 2 and 2. The next one is 2 and 7.
Okay.
And then the one is 2 and 2. And then the next one is 2 and 7.
Okay. So I want you to figure out, if you need to, look back at 1 and 2.
We're finding the LCM.
Yes.
Okay. So then it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2. And then 2 times 2. And then 2 times 7. So then it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. And then 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 7 is 54, I think, or 56.
Well, you tell me. You're gonna have to do this tomorrow. So
Yeah.
better get that clear. 7 times 8 is 56.
Okay, it's 56.
So it's 2 times 2, and then if you choose the 4, I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, and then the 8 has another 2 and then a 7.
Yeah.
So yes, it is 56 on the 56th day. So is 4 the check?
Yeah, 4 is check. And then
So you have to make sure that
yeah.
56 is divisible by each of these numbers.
So
I
you
guess.
divide 56 by 2 and 56 by 2 and 56
Sorry,
by
so
2 is
8, 4, and 14.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's a lot of 2s.
And make sure these all work out like they're whole numbers.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so I guess it'd be 8 divided by, or 56 divided by 8. Wait, wouldn't it be like?
Well, these aren't
8?
all the same. They're just they all work.
Oh, yes, they do.
Okay. And then
They're
what's
all
the
even.
number here?
For 14.
Well, do you see how they all become
7, 14, 4.
they all become the original numbers?
Yeah,
Or did I mess one of these up?
I think you messed one of them up. It
Yeah, I
should
did.
have been. It should be 8.
8, 4, and 14.
Yeah. So the 7 needs to become an 8.
Okay. So you get that down. You've got that down. What's step 5 to write it?
Yeah, writing the answer. Like every 56th day, he gets all 3 activities on the same day.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so let's use the rest of the time here just to redo a couple of problems that I noticed that you maybe some mistakes or some uncertainty about.
Yeah.
Let me think here. Let me have you try. And if you can, kind of clear your papers and just have this one out
Okay.
to work on. Go ahead and try that one, please.
Okay, so um so it would 5/12.
3/4 minus 1/3. So you made 12 your common denominator, is that right?
Yep.
So 9 and then minus 4, 5/12. Very good. Okay, let's have you we'll redo another one here. All right, so here is, so have you redo 18 and 1/4 minus 14 and 3/8.
Okay. Yeah, blank piece of paper. Fractions. Okay, so the 8/3 is larger. So you're gonna have to borrow.
Good.
So it's gonna become 17 plus 4 plus 1/4 minus 14 minus 3/8. Add those, it's gonna become 5 and 4ths, and then subtract 3/8, but then come 10, 8. Okay. 3 7/8.
Sorry, I'd lost. Yes, that's correct. Very good. Okay, really good. Here's one more that I think I did, so that's why I'm gonna have you do it here. Go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay. So then it's gonna be then it would be so one, you would undo it with addition.
That's right.
So then you'd add a fourth and then add a fourth. So then you do 8 and 1. Okay. 9 7/12.
That is correct.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, so let me give you some guidance for what to do to study for this. If you have time. I don't know if you have any time between now and then, but let's just assume for a moment that you did have some time. Okay. I would recommend redoing problems like starting at like 7,
Okay.
if you have time.
Okay.
Okay. Starting from like 7 to 12, if you have
Alright.
time. First thing to do is to try working them out, then compare to the notes. If they're the
Okay.
same, you're in great shape. If they're not, look at the solution and then redo it.
Okay.
But you're in great shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right here.